All right, guys, welcome to another episode of BeanTown, Banter, and Bullshit. I'm here with my cohort, Lincoln. How are you today?
Doing good. Little hot down here in North Carolina, but I understand it's almost the same weather up there right now. So just chilling.
It's steamy. Nice background today. I like it.
It's Cape Cod. It's where I kind of wish I was every July and August, but it's close enough.
I can understand that. 100%. All right, so we want to thank our sponsors who helping us here out this last week. We got tremendous feedback. We want to thank Flats Landscaping. Tom, you said it best.
Yeah. If your yard's fucked up, call Flats Landscaping.
That's it. And then what I mean, what you get for land? They work hard. They've been around for a long time. So give them a call. Their ads on our website. Check it out. Call Ryan if you need anything. Also, we want to thank two health shops. Go see Sarah out in North Brookfield, 23 Summer Street. They're doing the energy teas, shakes, protein. I've been off of these energy drinks for a while. It keeps you up all day, sticks with you. So in the protein, you're getting all the right stuff in your body. So go check them out. Also, Twitch is out in Barrie, 12 Exchange Street. We also wanted to thank on board this week my old place of employment, Dirt McGurts, down in Webster Square. We're going to be setting up an event there, I think, soon. We're going to try to get maybe a comic, maybe a couple of musicians, whatever. But we want to thank them, and I'll be back down there soon. Hopefully I can bartend back again down there soon. So we got them, and a good friend of mine, Jeffrey Comrie. He was my professor when I was at the University of Phoenix a decade ago, and we just remained in contact. He's always had a positive outlook for me, and he's got a venture. He's a veteran as well, I believe Navy. So his venture has been a company called Juness, and they're into health products, healthy living, planning lifestyles. So we'll be more we'll get more education out there on that too, but we want to give him a big thanks, big shout. And here we go. We're off. First topic.
First topic is Dirt McGurts at Webster Square. Tell me what space was that in? Was that used to be in a different bar that I don't remember? The name rings a bell, like you've told me stories or somebody has. Where is that in Webster Square?
It's next to the old Webb's house Jeremiah's in. It's down by, it used to be Fat Tony.
I know what Jeremiah's in was. Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's Fat Tony's, the old Fat Tony's. It's a very good friend of mine, Stacy McCary. She used to own Mahoney's for a little bit. She had another venture too, I believe. And it's been alive through COVID. And I got out, I hurt my foot and got out of there, and she kept it up through COVID, and that wasn't an easy task. They were all over.
Good for her.
Yep.
Good for her.
Out there. She followed all the guidelines. She did. I think there was a few scrapes there, but they made you provide food at one point. Like, how stupid was that? Yeah, you couldn't serve somebody a drink unless they bought a hot dog. Like, so buy a hot dog. People, they made it like restaurants, and people were just plugging in hot dog machines. We went further than that. She had like a air fryer, and if I had known now about air fryers when I did back then, we had like bar snacks, but that was stupid. COVID's all right, so it's good. You're all set if you get an order of mozzarella sticks. You're not gonna catch it. So
that was so fucking stupid.
Yeah,
they did the same thing down here. It was so dumb.
Yeah, I mean, ridiculous, but whatever. So. Now on to sports here. The first topic.
No, now on to COVID, because now COVID is running sports. Apparently still. It was like a year ago. You're hearing about games canceled, players being out. Now we got the Red Sox. You got to tell me more about that. I was watching the Olympic team. Bradley Beal and Jeremy Grant. I think Beal is out entirely. Jeremy Grant is in the protocol, so might get bounced. It's fucking garbage.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. Are they going to spread the disease or catch the disease? No.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
It's insane, man. I don't know what happened with the Red Sox, but for them to cancel, it's pretty late. They haven't. Is this the first game this year that's been cut for COVID?
Yeah. So what did they tell you? I only saw like the briefest mentions. You didn't get names, dates, or status. What do we got? Anything? Nothing.
No names. I know that it was 3 players, and that's it. That's all it's. They literally just came out 2 hours ago. They cut it for tonight. So it's a Red Sox Yankees game. So they're not going to lose money on that unless it's serious, I guess. I don't know. But why is COVID still here?
Yeah. Do we know that they're all 3 players are the Red Sox players? That was unclear in one of the headlines. Or is it also a Yankees player? Or is it all 3 Red Sox players?
I actually don't. I'm under the impression that it was all Red Sox players, but I could be wrong.
Gotcha. I'll follow up on that later. I just didn't have much time to do it before this.
Yep. Good. So, I mean, that's the Olympics. Jason Tatum's hurt. I heard he practiced all day today. I heard so he's got to get back in the mix. I don't know. I just hope they're not shaking up because they lost to Australia.
Man.
The outlook on the Olympics is kind of ridiculous because the dream team back in those days, like that was the top of the top. We're not dealing with. I mean, put all our best players on the United States, Kevin Durant, but a lot of those guys don't play. So it's not even in comparison. But they need some help. But I don't want to lose. But all these young players.
Yeah, but also like with Nigeria and Australia, maybe not, but more so with Nigeria. I mean, the majority of the team had NBA experience. Some of them are G League guys. It's not like where we could go to Latvia and beat them by 60 without even like trying.
Right.
I mean, so it's become an international sport, which was the goal, of getting them to the Olympics. Let's make it a bigger deal, and we did, with the Dream Team in '92 in Barcelona. But yeah, I'm a little nervous. I don't like to ever worry about us winning the gold medal. I like to think it's a lock. And this year, I mean, 2 fucking losses. Greg Popovich is now officially the worst coach in Team USA history. He has 2 exhibition losses. He is. They only lost 2 games in the last 30 fucking years. They lose the first 2 under him. That anyone gave a shit about.
And last week, I think I was giving props to Pop because that's who our new coach next to, bro. Celtics coach.
I've always thought he was a prick. I know he's a great coach, Hall of Famer, all-time coach, 10 all-time, whatever. But he's always struck me as a prick. So if by some chance we happen to lose this year, at least that'll be the silver lining is, fuck you, you'll go down as the worst amateur coach, the worst Olympic coach in history. Yeah, but I think they'll put it together. I do think they'll put it together. I mean, it's almost like a good wake-up call, that 1 loss, the first one in Nigeria, kind of like that college bullshit game where they lost in '92. Just was like a fucking, sort of a kick in the ass. This might be that. But it also might be a spur for countries like Spain and Italy and Greece and the Slavic nations who put together solid teams every year. And now they're like, shit, dude, we don't have to lose by 12 or 15. If we stay within 10 or 12, we can fucking beat these guys.
Right.
And it used to be they'd be happy to lose by 10 because they didn't lose by 50. Now it's always interesting, but this year it's going to have a little more interest, after we get by the first round of fucking Angola or whoever the fuck it is. Guinea-Bissau.
Yep. Awesome. Yep. So this story here is amazing. I just literally caught up with it like 2 hours ago before I talked to you initially today. So the goalie, his name is I have to know his name permanently after this. This dude was at his coach's house for a 4th of July party. Matiss, I'll get it here. He was in a hot tub with one of his teammate's wife, who was pregnant. Or I don't know if they were in the hot tub, but they were pretty close to him. And this dude took a firework mortar to the chest and saved them and died. The goalie for the Columbus Blue Jackets. I just can't believe that I haven't.
That sounds unbelievable. You know,
So the eulogy was today. I get his buddy that he saved did the eulogy. I was in tears. It was, the guy said he was absolutely a hero. He saved him, his wife, his unborn son, and like 50 people behind him. And I don't even know what to do, because the way he said it, they said he saved his last puck, but at the eulogy. Imagine that, like what that comparison to, like it was in a respectful way. Like, you know, the guy was crying. It was his best friend. He went there with him, but it was the goalie coach from the Columbus Blue Jacket. His daughter got married, and they were there. That was the party that they were at, like the after party or maybe the wedding was even there. But imagine that.
That's like jumping on the grenade, like the Medal of Honor winners. You know what I mean? Like that. But I can't believe I'm only hearing about this now. Why wasn't? I mean, granted, I'm not watching ESPN all day, but I can't believe I heard that story.
Tom, what you're feeling right now is what I felt when I read it 2 hours ago, right before we got on. I still don't believe that I didn't hear about that all week. That unbelievable. Matiss Kivlenieks. Excuse me if I said it wrong, you know, but it's crazy. The Columbus Blue Jackets goalie, unreal. Wow. Imagine that. Amazing. And watch you guys. Everybody, do yourself a favor. I wish I had the video in front of me at a screen share, but go watch the eulogy that guy put out there today. It's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. But
I mean, the main part of the story is the tragedy and the heroism, but I'd like to know like what exactly was going on, who was where, who's launching this thing, was it an accident, what the fuck?
Yeah, they're investigating it like an accident. It was a legal firework, I believe. They called it, it was like a 9-blast mortar or something like that. So it was like, on my understanding, it had to be a pretty decent sized fireworks.
Yeah, like one that's designed to go a few hundred feet up and then explode with all this gunpowder and all this other shit like that.
Yeah, I'm thinking like industrial, like, what a city would use, or like, I'll tell you.
Yeah, they launch off of ships, like the ones they launch off of boats that are like half a mile from anybody who could get hurt.
That's just
I'm curious.
I don't know shit about fireworks, but I gotta say that had to be the case, but he was pretty adamant. Imagine that. And the autopsy was all chest trauma and to his heart and his lungs and everything. That's unreal. Still unbelievable.
Yeah, that sounds like one of those guys in the military who really takes it. I'll have to see the story, but boy, well, I mean, hats off to him and condolences to his family.
Matiss Kivlenieks, remember that name. That's hero. That's some hero shit. So
maybe by next week we'll get a graphic or a story up. We can round it off. You know what I mean? Make sure. Well, I'll look it up. I'm sure I'm going to read about it right after this. Yeah. I am curious. I don't know if any of our listeners have heard of this story. I suppose the hockey guys have.
Yeah, absolutely. Amazing. Amazing though. That's that should be a movie. It's a movie. So what else we got this week? I know Jaron Duran got called up from the Woo Sox to the Red Sox.
Yeah.
His debut tonight, I believe. So good luck to him, and we love to have him here.
Tonight. He can't debut tonight, right? Because they're not going to play.
Yeah, it's over.
It's not him who has the COVID.
I thought of that first.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, imagine if it was him. Who knows? I'm not, whatever. I hope we never see him again. That means he'd be up there and successful. That's why. So, whatever. And they're fine. How about the Red Sox pulling off their draft pick, Marcelo Myers?
Yes. Yeah, I looked at the draft projections a couple days, before. I always sort of keep one eye on them, and I knew that guy was number one in a lot of guys' spots, number two in a lot. Nobody I saw had him falling to four, so I was psyched. Nobody I saw had him falling to four. He just seemed to be natural enough that he's gonna, like, one of those guys you can look at and be like, okay, he's gonna make the pros. We don't know. I mean, he's gonna make the big leagues. We don't know how good he's gonna be there. But some of these guys, even in the first round, they don't know if they're ever gonna make the big leagues, the scouts and stuff. But apparently, this guy had the tools and like literally the experience, and he'd been, people have been watching him for 5-6 years, to see if he would, stay and maintain that level of excellence. And he did. Sounds like a steal. Sounds like a steal in the draft.
Yeah.
We'll have to see. Baseball draft is notoriously iffy. I mean, there are number one picks who never make the bigs.
Right.
It happens. It's very rare in any other sport, but it happens in baseball. Yep. So, no, I'm psyched. And it's a short, so give him a couple years. He can replace Xander. They can just do a total rollover, and then, that would be great.
Yep. I don't know. The Red Sox are good. They're the farm system's strong again. That's for sure. I know that we wanted Jack Leiter, but
I saw him on the list a few times. Where did he end up going? Do you know?
The Rangers.
He went to the Rangers. Okay, so we'll see him.
The Rangers took him at number 2. A catcher taken first overall? Was that what it was?
Fuck. I don't want to pull up the screen, but it may very well have been. I did read the list. I don't know.
Yeah. So I don't know. They look good for a few years. Hopefully we don't lose Xander. I don't know. About that time, a lot of people are saying he could become a DH around that time. Who knows? But I know they're looking good this year. Hopefully we can finish out strong here, the Devil Rays, man. the Devil Rays, the Yankees, I don't know. They're behind us. Did you watch the home run derby this week?
No, just the highlights. I couldn't deal with all the pre stuff, and I just fucking couldn't deal with it.
No bullshit. This was the best home run derby I've ever seen. Not ever. Since baseball was good. I don't know, in years, the home run derby. They did a lot of good things.
Because of Alonso? Because of Pete Alonso?
Pete Alonso was crazy.
I watched every one of his. Somebody did a YouTube production of just all of his swings, all of his home runs. Yeah, in that case, I kind of wish I had stayed up, but it was afterwards, or had stayed tuned in. But
Ohtani.
And he did respectable. He hit 23 or 24 total during the competition. He's
he hit a bomb. I think he hit the longest, right? Was it 513 feet or something like that?
Yes, 500. Yes, it was something ridiculous.
Those are Cecil Fielder.
Oh, Cecil, yeah. Imagine hitting a ball 530 fucking feet. It's just insane.
Amazing. I don't know. That was good. And what was cool this year, what I found out, every ball that was pitched, hit, home runs, the player signed every ball that was pitched, that was hit.
I saw that.
That's awesome.
I think you may have shared that. Yeah. So everyone who catches it, whether it's, the kids in the outfield or the guys in the stands or whatever, they've got one. But Tatis or with Ohtani or whoever, a lot. I think that was a good idea.
That's
they probably
cool
should
as hell.
What's up?
That's cool as hell. Especially in the with the memorabilia wave that's going on right now. You see all those being raffled off soon.
Because they'll all have a different imprint saying they're from the All-Star game, and they'll have that signature that everyone knows now happened. You know what I mean? It's not like a bunch of guys can fake it really, because you can't get that ball, and then do that. So those will make especially Ohtani's, man. I guarantee there's some dude fucking 13 time zones away. Who's getting ready for the Olympics, who's fuck yeah, I buy Ohtani ball. 1 million yen, motherfucker.
I'll tell you, he should win every award this year. I mean, he
probably MVP is almost a lock for him if he keeps up his pace, because there's no one else who can do that for you, who can win games on the mound or at the plate. Obviously, he's not going to win the home run title, and he probably won't win the RBI race. I don't know. I don't know. It's tough to say. It's tough to say right now. But I hope he gets. I hope he gets some postseason recognition.
Yeah,
me
too. Me too. Yeah, Vlad Guerrero won the MVP of the actual All-Star game. That was good.
I was thrilled. I loved it. His father was literally, me and a buddy would driving home from a Cape League game or something like 10 years ago. And my wife was driving and he's like, we're bored. He randomly asked a question. He's like, Tom, who's your favorite hitter ever? Who do you like to watch swing more than ever in baseball? And I'm like, I thought about it for 10 seconds. I'm like, Vladimir Guerrero. And he like, me fucking too. He was like, of all the thousands of great hitters, because remember, he could hit it from anywhere. It didn't matter. He could get a fucking launch angle before anyone even knew what that was. Like off any pitch. I love that his son is prospering. Yep. I think it's great.
Yep. He hit an absolute bomb during the game too. A bomb. I mean, it was also cool during the actual All-Star game. They had Fernando Tatis Jr. mic'd up. So he was talking while he was playing. I didn't think he was very safe, but he was playing the field while he was on, talking to the guys in the booth. So
that is cool. I wish I would. I mean, there are parts of it I wish I'd seen.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. They did a good job because that shit got boring for a while. The home run derby, they just didn't do right for a long time. And I don't think it was the best home run derby of all time? The old school one, it was on in the afternoon when I was young. It was with Harmon Killebrew and all the really old guys, Willie Mays, the old.
Oh, I remember it happening, but I totally remember that happening, but I couldn't tell you what year it was.
That was a TV show. Like, and it wasn't even just for the All-Star game. It was like a every day after a weekly TV show. So that was cool as hell. I gotta pull that up.
Yeah, I bet you that exists on YouTube. That would actually be kind of cool to break down.
Yeah.
And sort of see who they were.
I watch it faithfully every day. That and that was on like World Class Wrestling was on afternoons too. Like old wrestling, like the Von Erichs and all really old school, which is cool. But it's been, I don't know, good week for sports. I'll tell you, I don't know. I didn't really comb over too much of football, but I will tell you, fantasy is going to be fire this year.
Yeah, I don't know what we're going to do with the fantasy. Should we nail it down now and let our viewers know? Like, I ran through a couple mock drafts. I kind of know what I would do, but again, it depends on whether the first pick, the sixth pick, the 12th pick. There's definitely a consensus at the top 10, and then you shuffle them a little bit. That's about it. But maybe a week from today, maybe next Thursday, we should run a mock draft.
Yeah, we will. Let's plan on that. We'll do. And I actually, you know what I can do? I can do we can do like a 10-team league. I can screen share the actual draft that we do. And
that's what I was hoping, but I didn't want to throw work on you. I know it's doable, but I don't know, like, shifting windows and Zoom and all that shit. Yeah, I think that'll be fun. And then, like, say we only have a few guys on. Whoever's on is on. Every other team just auto pick. You set them on auto pick, right? It makes it go a lot faster. Just boring as fuck watching a draft. But if you got like half of them doing auto pick, it's done. And if you preload your auto picks, dude. Apparently, I am destined to be on the fucking Chubb wagon because I did like all these mock drafts. I got Nick Chubb in like 5 of them. I'm like, fuck you. No matter where I pick in the draft, I end up with Nick fucking Chubb. So he's my guy this year.
Awesome.
I'm a chubby.
Awesome. So, what do you want to do for a format? I would say the most basic format is a quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, a tight end, a defense, and a kicker.
Yes, that's exactly. That's fine. Unless you want to do a flex. That's the main question.
One flex.
One flex.
Yep.
So that's an extra roster spot. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I don't like doing the 2 quarterback leagues. To me, it's just too much of a, it's just such a toss up. It's just, to me, it's silly. The 2
It's good for
quarterback.
leagues that are rotisserie because it's just more points, but head to head, not so much. I think this is a better format for head to head. So we'll do that. Why don't we try to get 12 teams? We'll do, so like $50 a person or something like, 50 points a person. I don't know. Is that even illegal anymore? Who knows? On the back of football card, it says you win points or whatever. That's what you win, points, chips.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll have to see what people want to do. I was hoping we could do one that we just sponsored and it was free for everybody. And then they win, a little money, me and you chip in at the end.
We can do that too. No doubt. Absolutely.
Just for accessibility and so people don't have to really stress about, not that people stress about $50.
Listen, I'm in 4 other leagues, right? One of them has a Major League Baseball player in it. Official who's going to be on the show I'll tell you, he's going to get on within the next month. I'm going to say, I'm going to target that. So we got, I think Tyler Beatty, he pitched for the Giants, I believe 2 weeks ago. Well, I think he's still up now.
Say the name again.
Tyler Beatty.
Is he from Worcester or something? I don't know the name. Should I?
He is from Auburn, and he got drafted. He's all the way up now. He's been in and out with the San Francisco Giants. He's a great dude, man. He's working hard. I'm going to have an Auburn baseball a few years ago. Actually, it was like, I don't know, 2007, around that area. There was a junior league. I believe they were all 15 and 16-year-olds from Auburn, who's produced a ton of talent. They've had multiple draft picks in the last, couple decades. They made a run they lost a game to Guatemala, the Guatemala national team. It was an international tournament, and they made it pretty deep. We're going to have all those guys on within the next few weeks. Ty Desjardins, he was a pretty well-known Auburn athlete. 3-sport athlete. So we'll have them on, and that'll be a good time, man. I'll tell you, Tyler's a good dude.
Especially, if they've done, they've competed internationally, it'd be really good to tie them in with the Olympics, which will be in a couple weeks. The baseball goes, it's like 8 days. The Olympics are a couple weeks, but I think there's like an 8-day chunk where it's baseball. That would be kind of cool to have those guys talk about what it's like to play overseas, to play against different styles.
It was all here. Those guys were all here. It wasn't Little League. It was like, I guess Babe Ruth you would call it, but they called it like junior, and they have junior and senior league there. I've been playing they play by their own rules.
It's like U18, U16, U14. So if you're under 18, you can be 14 and still make the team. You just have to be under the number. And sometimes, like towns like Auburn, you're right. They produce a shitload of baseball players for whatever reason. Who knows why? Worcester does a good job too. I know St. John's out of Shrewsbury, they got a guy drafted in the 3rd round this year, maybe 2nd round. Yeah, so no, that'll be fun. That's a good call. I hope people are interested.
It's a good friend of mine, Brian Boucher. He was a coach on that team, and his son was also on that team. And his son, one year, just was an absolute workhorse. Good people, He worked hard. I played for college too. I believe he played for Worcester State. I think he played for Westfield too at one point. But he kept me in the loop through the whole thing. So I was watching, and that's back before, there was in 2007. So we still had MySpace. That's what technology was. So I was watching it like on a ticker, refreshing the screen every 2 seconds, And those kids, I'll tell you, they worked hard. They made it. There was a good squad. There was a bunch of kids that played together all the way up too, So that's always a good stuff. Yep. And he had to shave his head at the end of it, and it looked awesome. So that's what we'll allude to when we get it. But the main point was Tyler Beatty, he should be on. Fantasy football, I'm in a big league. with my buddy Danny Mack, who we started that pool league this week as well. That was awesome. Did you say we did a pool draft? But Tyler's going to get back in this year. He traded me Pat Mahomes. I'll announce right now, I had the greatest fantasy football team ever assembled. And it's not really even, I had the 9 and 10 pick. I picked Barkley and Kareem Hunt. The year Kareem Hunt got suspended, but he was nasty for like the first 9 games. I also had Patrick Mahomes. I also had Tyreek Hill, Saquon Barkley. I had Kelsey at one point, but Tyler Beatty traded me Mahomes. That was the first year Mahomes went bananas. And I took the championship, the only championship I had, that year. So that'll be all good. Fantasy is huge, man. There's the Blondie League, that's my heart. That's on year 17, I believe, right now. So we'll be dabbling into that as well with my friend Megan. Keith has been on the show before. Keith, Megan's husband, and
okay, Leone. No?
Leone, yes. Yep. Shout out to Mike Rodriguez, all those guys, Larry Doty. We got a bunch of Blondie dudes, a bunch of people that have been in the leech rooms. Been alive for a long time. So I look forward to it, man. It's coming up around that time. We're still a couple weeks away, but also this year we have 17 games. So there's
that keeps escaping my memory and then coming back. I'm like, wait a minute. Like when people are like, predict your record, and people are like 12 and 5, I'm like, you're an idiot. And then I have to think for myself before I say it. I'm like, shut up, Tom. They're right. We 12 and 5. Fuck.
Yep. Awesome. So in that format, that we said 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 receivers, a tight end, a flex, kick, a defense.
There you go. And 5 bench spots probably.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
5 is basically good enough as long as you don't have all this. I mean, you can figure out the bye weeks and shit like you're on your own. Each draftee can,
And
most years I ignore that shit because the bye weeks don't hit till week 6 or 7, and you already have guys you want to ditch anyway.
Yeah.
So then you pick up guys who fill in. But yeah, so do it that way we'll call it 5. Yeah, if somebody wants 6, whatever, we'll debate it.
Yep.
No, we won't. It'll be 5.
Yeah.
It'll be 5.
And no doubt it's PPR. Fantasy football is not fantasy football unless it's PPR.
I've played PPR probably 9, except for the very first year, maybe. Yeah. I might not have, like when it first became like there was a choice between them. Yeah, you got to do that.
And I hope there's no one that doesn't know what PPR is, but that stands for point per reception. If you're not watching the right show, if you don't know what that means by now, so point per reception.
And it's a way to really reflect the value of a receiver, like an Edelman or like a short catch guy, who might not get, 130 receiving yards, but he catches 14 balls. You know what I mean? And each one of them gets you some putt. Yeah, I think it's PPR is the way to go. I don't think I've played in one that wasn't PPR in 10 years, probably.
Yeah.
But I think everyone went with that.
Anyone who doesn't like more stats is a prick. That's it. You need stats is what it's all about. Why wouldn't you want more? If you don't want more, you're not a real sports fan. You never read the sports page, what it's all about. I'll tell you, the best part of the sports page is when you read the stats, like the league standings or categories or things like that. That's how. But who would be in that format? Who's your number 1 pick?
Obviously my number 1 pick, and I say obviously, it's not obvious. It's between Cook and McCaffrey, and I would go with McCaffrey just because I love the guy and he plays down it. I just like him.
That's a big pick. I'm Mahomes for life, I believe. I think
not at the number 1 pick. If you had the number 1 pick, you would take Mahomes. See, to me, I don't see value in that. I don't.
You know what? I would argue with you, but last year, I every draft I've been in since I had him that year, I've said it. Everybody says no, but it's not really bad. I love Mahomes.
But do you think now in some of the mocks I did, he was showing up. In some, he was in the top 10 players overall. And you know what? I should have adjusted it for PPR. I probably did. I don't know if I did. But I saw him going usually around the 10 to 12. So if you had the turn, you grab your running back, your receiver, and then you grab him on the way back. Or you grab him first, knowing you got him on the way back. I would do it. To me, it's just, God. It's tough for me to draft a quarterback in the first round. I'll be honest with you. It is tough for me. Mahomes is special, so good luck to you. I'll take your money.
Hey, how about this though? Fancy nonsense. You'll love it. Look at my whole past is fucking filled with things like bullshit. Like Geno Smith is the next Michael Vick. It's really no bullshit. Like I had Michael Vick slated as my number one pick for the year before I even got there. When he played for the Eagles, and I picked the number one overall. Actually, no, I didn't. That draft was so stupid that I got him at like pick 9 or something like that. And I told everyone I would have picked him number one. And everybody has a fantasy enemy. You know what I mean? Do you have that guy that ever he sucks for you, and when he plays with someone else, he's fucking phenomenal?
Yeah. I've gone through that. I was telling somebody else the other day, I would draft like whoever the Breeze or Rodgers was and end up starting Matt Stafford 90% of the time because he just had better numbers. Like even like those guys who are great, they'd have 220 yards and a touchdown pass, whereas Matt Stafford has 330 yards and 2 touchdown passes. The team got smoked by 30. But it was just frustrating. One particular guy, Sean Alexander, the year I took him number one, that was fucking bullshit. God.
Hey, that's gonna be a deep wound. He's been out of the league for like 20 years.
No, I remember it was Jay Tyler. Had the number 2 pick and I had the number 1 or vice versa and whatever. It was either LaDainian or Sean Alexander, and I went with Sean Alexander. It's not fucking the stupidest pick ever. I mean, it didn't stupid at the time, it was comparable at the time. But yeah, so Sean Alexander is my regret. He's not really an enemy, but
first of all, I loved Sean Alexander. I fucking loved him. I really did. I hate LaDainian Tomlinson with all my fucking heart. Like, he's number 2 on my enemy list, LaDainian Tomlinson. Number 1 is Jay Cutler. I hate Jay Cutler in life. Not even, it actually at this point doesn't have anything to do with football. I just don't like him.
Yeah, he turned out to be an asshole in some way, didn't he? I forget what he did off the field. He became a prick, right? I never gave a shit about him.
He blames diabetes for being lazy, quit on his team, and the guy, he's just a terrible human being. He's the one who showed up to the press conference and said, "Why do I need to train? I'm a quarterback." We don't do anything. Come on. He said that when the Dolphins signed him. Every year I put it out there. I'll fight him right now in real life. Right. I'll get dusted probably right now, but I don't care. I'll fucking.
You mentioned the Dolphins, which made me think of some of the commentary I saw looking at some of these sites. How many Tampa Bay players do you think you will take? I was looking at it, and it's tempting. I got to be honest. You can't always go back to the well, but man, they've got like 4 or 5 guys going in the top 30 in most of the drafts I'm seeing.
Now, I mean, I'll tell you what the only issue is. There's too many fucking players. How are you going to pick who's going to get the most work? And that's what killed the Patriots players over the years. You never got a Patriots running back because they split between fucking 4 of them. Who are you going to pick right now as their receivers or tight ends?
Yeah, you can't. Yeah. I remember one year I lucked into picking up James White off the waiver wire like 2 or 3 years ago or whatever, either waiver wire or like after the draft. And I was like, holy shit, this guy, I picked him just as a New England running back. But then he had like a couple 150-yard games or whatever, 120-yard games. Like, fuck yeah, I lucked out on that. But also, I was probably burning Amendola because Amendola wasn't getting those touches. You know what I mean? I used to have Amendola on my team almost every year. I always tried to get him. Yeah. He was like a Hans Christian McCaffrey in my mind. Like, you never knew when he was going to show up and do something, but when he did, he always produced. Yeah, it's a tough one.
You're also talking to a guy that for probably 10 years straight, I tried to get Brady and Gronk, like through I wanted that connection legitimately for like 10 years. How you can't do it now because who the hell can you take on that team, man? They're gonna spread it.
You got to take Godwin, right? Well, I guess you would if it was a keeper.
Godwin,
well, I guess it's
I was faced with that last year. I had number one pick. I told everyone I was taking Brady with my first pick, and I believe I had like 4 or 5 or something. And on the way back, Mike Evans and Godwin were there, and I went with Mike Evans. And Godwin had better numbers, and he got hurt last year, so I made the right pick. But it's still the same decision this year: Godwin or Evans. I gotta say. And where are you picking Mike Evans or Godwin? I don't think in a 12-man league. I don't think that's first round, second round, maybe.
No, I would say second or third round for both. I mean, obviously, if you look at the list, you see McCaffrey, you see the other dude I mentioned, you see Kamara still up there.
Yeah.
Fucking, you know that. Like I said, Nick Chubb, baby, chub it up.
Hey,
chub it up.
He's a first rounder. He's gonna be legit.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
It was so annoying whether I was picking 3rd or 9th. They kept assigning me Nick Chubb. I'm like, who the fuck else is auto drafting this shit?
Yep.
But
and Nick Chubb is last year I had Kareem Hunt, and he had a great year last year, but he chips away at a little bit of Chubb's value, obviously. But I don't know, the Browns are good. The Browns, the AFC looks really good.
Yeah, I mean, once we've done a mock, it'll be easy to talk about. But I was thinking about this earlier, and it's like, okay, when you start thinking about receivers versus running backs, especially in the first round, where everyone takes a running backs generate more points. They get more touches than most people, in a usual season. But excuse me, where the fuck was I going with that?
Phenomenal.
What the fuck was I going to say? I actually had a good point that I'd already made earlier today, and now I've forgotten it. So, obviously, not very important. Yeah. Oh, no, that's what it is that you'll get 6, like the top 6 guys will be running backs, right? Like in most of these mocks and like ESPN drafts and shit.
And
but two of them are going to suck balls. You know what I mean? That happens with running backs. Even though like the religion is to, always grab a running back, I get scared. I wouldn't be so ballsy as to take a number 1 quarterback, even though Mahomes is kind of a special case. But I always look for a receiver I can grab hypothetically in a first round that's like the number 1 and number 2 receiver of the league, an all pro. You know what I mean? It used to be Julio Jones. There have been guys some years where you just know they're going to fucking kill it. You just hope they get touchdowns, not just yards. The touchdowns, they hit bonuses. They're 200 yards receiving, 100 yards receiving, whatever. But I'm a little wary. We got to do a mock so that where somebody else assigns us our draft spots. Yeah. Where you have so you can't really plan that well. Like you plan for having the 1 pick and you get the 11, then nobody you want is going to be there in the round you expect them to be until you get to the 6th round. So you got to sort of think that way. At least I do.
Yep. No. I mean, I think Brady's got to be all right, man.
I saw him going as the 4th quarterback overall. In some of the drafts I saw, I was like, I usually expect him to be a little lower, but he was still going at the 4th or 5th round, but he was the 4th quarterback. Mahomes, of course. Josh Allen was ahead of him.
Oh yeah.
Another guy or two. He was right around the Dak Prescott range. Like Dak Prescott was 4 or 5 spots away from me either way, and I actually had him one year. He wasn't bad for me, but he didn't light the world on fire either. So
Yep. I had Brady and Dak last year in my 2-quarterback league, and I would have been good if Dak stayed, but I had Dak, I had Zeke, I had Brady, I had Evans, but that team fell fucking apart, man. I don't know what happened, but
that's another thing I noticed is Zeke is he's now a second tier running back, according to some of the analysis I'm seeing.
So when I started that conversation about that fantasy enemy, my main fantasy enemy of all time is Darren McFadden, another Cowboy actually. Darren McFadden, he fucking sucked so bad for me the year, and you know what, son of a bitch, he 1 year, the injury that I never heard of in my entire life, and I haven't heard of it since that year, and he had an injury called Lisfranc.
Called what?
Lisfranc. Lisfranc. Lisfranc.
Oh, yeah. It's
right?
a type of fracture in your foot, right?
Well,
is that
oddly enough, the fracture that I have right now. So,
oh no shit! Yeah. Yes,
right?
Yeah.
Tom,
yeah.
I wish I could get Keith and Megan on this podcast right now to tell you every single fucking week he had Lisfranc. Right? They'd be like, he practiced Thursday, Friday, Saturday. He's going. Game time? Nope. Out. Right? You know who got it the next year? My guy, Maurice Jones-Drew. Only fucking players I've ever heard. I've never heard of the injury since, but it was the same thing with him too. They tell you like he practiced, he's good Saturday, and then game time, he's out for the whole year. They did it for like 10 weeks, so you can't drop them. You got to play it. You got to stay in it until then. But Darren McFadden was my big time enemy. Like, yeah, it's funny. A Cowboy.
Yeah, I thought he was a Raider. Was Darren McFadden originally a Raider? That's what I remember him. I may have even had him on a team, but I don't remember what year or how I did or anything.
He was a Raider. He was that fucking scumbag. But oh man, last year now though, it's been replaced with Zeke. Zeke was horrible last year, and I was facing the issue of picking him last year with I think my first pick, and he screwed me. He was terrible last year. I don't know, and they lost Dak, so obviously it was easy just to stack the box and forget about it. But yeah, I can't roll with Zeke anymore. I'm out on Zeke.
Yeah, I guess there's nothing more boring for our viewers than listening to us talk about, potential draft picks that haven't happened yet in old one. So maybe we should move on. But with the proviso, the viewers, tune in. We'll find a way to get you involved in a mock draft. The first 10 or 12, whatever.
I think
we'll figure it out.
We'll try to get a couple of people. We'll get a couple of viewers next week. We'll do a mock draft next week. We'll get me, you, and 2 more other people. We'll screen share it, and we'll go through a few rounds of the draft. We'll just see what we got.
That sounds good. Yeah, just to get a taste for it, and then a month from now, we can actually put together a real league, come up with real rules and shit. But I think that'll be fun.
It's not a game. Not a game.
We're talking about practice?
We're talking about practice. That AI, man, for life. Love that dude. But
I love him too. He's one of my favorite players. He really is a non-Celtic and he was a superstar, but not in the stratosphere. I love that fucking guy. Fastest man I've ever seen on the court. Strong, for a strong guy, he was as fast as anyone you'll ever see. And I love that.
You ever see his high school football highlights?
Yes, I have.
Unreal.
He's unreal. Yeah.
He's he's one of those old school competitors too. He competes. He was same competitor as Jordan. He just never got on that team, man. He never got on that team that was gonna win. He took the Sixers many times. I wanted to see him win. I would have loved to have seen him win.
Me too.
AI, love it. So, how about some Patriots chatter? Any word on Mac Jones, Cam Newton? Did you read any of that this week? I'm hearing that Mac is doing well, but I still believe Cam's going to come out of the gate for us.
Well, what I take from it, from listening to some clips from EI barely and reading some Herald articles, the Herald sucks now, by the way. It's a garbage sports page. It's the only way I can get the updates every morning, but it's still crap. They don't write as well. Is nobody wants to really say anything because they're such pussies. But the idea that Mac could start the first game, that still exists in some of their minds, it seems. But no one wants to say anything. No one wants to piss anyone off. They don't, they don't want to declare it. I'd still be very surprised if Mac starts. But I think when we first talked about it, we talked about like by game 3 or game 4, would he be in?
Yeah.
And that, I don't see why not. I don't see why not. I mean, if he's doing, I mean, you can't get shit out of these reports. They don't tell you anything. What do you think?
And Keel Harry requested a trade this week.
Yeah, I saw that. And a lot of people don't like him. I actually liked him just because, hell, shit, we drafted a receiver. Let's go with it. But I guess he hasn't produced up to fucking expectations. But then you don't want to be one of those guys. Now you drop him. He goes to the fucking Bengals and becomes a fucking superstar. It's scary.
That really isn't far off. That really might not be far off. Him at the Bengals, that would actually be a decent fit. Great, Tom. Wonderful. I thought you hated Bengals fans.
I do because they suck.
Yeah, I believe, what was it, like episode 1, I think you declared war on the Bengals.
Yeah, but they have no fans, so I won. It was like a surrender. It was like fighting France. There was no pushback.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck France. We don't care. Fuck it. We don't really do the players that we could have gotten instead of N'Keal Harry. Obviously, hindsight is fucking 2020. We know that. But the players that we could have ended up with, man, DK Metcalf, I believe, is on that list.
Yeah.
And really, that was a no-brainer that I never really understood. Nobody really caught on to that dude. He's a giant, and he has Velcro hands. I don't understand why he was so underrated and ended up in Seattle, because Seattle had a late pick, but whatever, who knows? I was a big N'Keal guy because I just thought it was going to work, but he couldn't work with Brady. If you can't work with Brady, I don't know.
Yeah, so he wants a trade, fine. Maybe we'll get some value back from him. You know what I mean? We still have for what, a year or two?
Yeah. I think when I posted it last week, Tommy Daly said, does he need a ride to the airport? Or something. So
Terry Glenn style? Is he staying at the fucking Motel 6? Just like waiting for a bus out of town?
Oh my God. Terry Glenn was also another good one. I love Terry Glenn. Ohio State Buckeyes.
Every fan did, and then he kind of lost his marbles for a while, and just
Terry Ecstasy Glenn. He was one of the ones selling drugs.
Yeah. How's Terry Glenn doing? She's healing up right. So whatever.
Yeah.
She'll be fine.
Yeah, her hamstring's coming along fine.
Yeah.
Fucking Bill Parcells, man. What a relic. Awesome. I know the Jets have a quarterback controversy going on. That kid that they drafted last year is looking like he's going to be the starter this year. Or was Zach Wilson, who they picked, I think, with number 2?
Yeah, that's not the Sam Darnold, is it?
No, Darnold is in Carolina now, I believe.
Yeah, okay. I read a story about Darnold earlier today, so he's in my head.
Yep.
So who are the two competing in for the Jets?
James Morgan and Zach Wilson. And James Morgan looks like he's going to be the guy, which is kind of weird because they wasted a pretty early pick not wasted, but they got Zach. Maybe they're thinking about a trade or whatever. I know they got LaMichael Perrine, another rookie that he should be all right this year. Denzel Mims, they got a good cast coming through, man. I'll tell you.
The Jets never have a good cast coming through. You're fooling yourself. Draft all Jets in our fantasy league. I look at
Geno Smith might even be coming back just to fucking consult this year. That West Virginia team, Tom. I'm telling you.
Absolute world beaters, all of them.
Mountaineers for life. Woo! I dig it. Fuck it. But I don't know. The AFC East is shaping up. Everyone's going to be competitive. The Bills, come on. I mean, we can't. I can't sit there and say that they're not better than us right now.
No, I think they probably are. I think the Bills are probably on. They're probably. It would be legit to pick them a game or two ahead of us. Miami, see, it's hard for me to have faith in teams like Miami and the Jets. The Bills, I understand. They can do it.
Yeah.
They're a stable franchise. They do things okay. They've had a shitload of bad luck over the years. Some bad decisions, but a lot of just bad luck. I can't put that same on. I can never even look at a preseason and like see a projection that has Miami winning 10 games and even take it seriously. Just because you just never see it happen. Right. So
it'll be interesting to see if Tua is actually good or not. I don't think we didn't get a good. I mean, he was at college level. They came through with Jalen Waddle? Is that who they picked this year? The receiver from Alabama there?
Waddle. It was his first name, Jalen. Okay.
Yeah, I think they pulled off some decent moves, but I don't know. I hate Miami too. We always lose that game down there. I hate it. I have no idea why, but even Brady couldn't win down there. I mean, sometimes, but fuck Miami and fuck Chris Tebow. God, my buddy Chris Tebow. Fuck you. Fuck the Dolphins, and send me my prize. I bet is a friend of mine, childhood friend of mine. We bet he's a Miami fan, and he hates Brady. He's always talking shit about Brady. So we bet on last year's Super Bowl sports cards. So I'm still waiting for my prize, and it's July. So it's been called out.
Well, he's obviously been vindicated because Brady sucks. I mean, what has he ever done?
Unreal.
Brady, he's garbage.
I'll never forget it, man. That was a great Super Bowl this year. I mean, I think Brady could win 10.
Man, there's just, it's so funny. Like when we talk about stats earlier in baseball and stuff and how things change, Tom Brady's numbers and stats are literally so out of the realm of, 3 or 4 Super Bowl championships. Not only are you in the Hall of Fame, you're in the top greatest players of all time list, no matter what your position, no matter if you're a big contributor. He is so far above every other measurement that I would not rule him out winning another Super Bowl this year. As ridiculous as that sounds, or at least making it, it's not ridiculous when you talk about Tom Brady.
You know what's ridiculous is Bruce Arians. He's the one that bugs me in this whole thing, because when Brady was coming there, when he first got there, it was he doesn't run the team, I run the show, I pick the players. And now it's, oh yeah, of course I'll let him run the show. Why wouldn't you let Tom Brady? Yeah, no shit. Tom Brady calls all the plays out there. He said that if he does whatever he wants. Yes, but in the beginning, he was playing tough guy. No, we're not gonna. Somebody came out and said, nope, we're not gonna take Antonio Brown. Don't even think about it. Blah blah blah. It's a different way of genius other than Belichick, because he knows what's happening. He's doing a good way. He's covering it. I knew Antonio Brown was gonna play for them. When he left the Patriots, wherever Brady went, he was gonna play. Wherever he went, those two really clicked. How about Antonio Brown going nuts in the first week he was there? He never got in trouble and then stayed the course. He really, he shut his mouth.
Yeah, it was like the Antonio Brown watch, waiting for the week, the Sports Center you're going to see, Antonio Brown breaking news and the little chyron at the bottom.
Right.
Released from the team or suspended or something. He kept waiting for something to happen. Not arrested, but you know what I mean? Just totally gone because he's flighty. He doesn't, Antonio Brown, he spent a couple years not knowing what the fuck he was doing. And it's all right. It came together pretty well. Eventually it settled down. He still had the skill, still had the athleticism, and Tom Brady knew it. And apparently he can't be that big of a dick, or people wouldn't want to play with him. I guess he's probably a dick. A lot of these guys probably are. But
I know I owned him. I owned him when he had when he played for the Pats. I owned him in the Lonnie League, which is my big league. I loved it, man. If he got to stay, they would have put up numbers that year. He's the perfect guy for Brady. But even now, I can't draft Antonio Brown anywhere this year. With you know what I mean? Like on that.
Nah, he'll be a late rounder. He'll go in the draft. He will go in the draft, I would assume, right?
Oh, of course, yeah.
He won't go. Yeah, he won't be a top. What do they break him down into tier 1, tier 2, tier 3? He's probably in the tier 3, tier 4 draft value, depending on which analysis site you look at.
Yeah, you get a lot of guys that like the connections in fantasy. Like, you got the quarterback, you're going to try to get whatever receivers are there. So I think that will be a draw because Brady spreads it, But it'll be interesting, man. It's going to be a good year. I know. Tannehill, where does he go?
He is the biggest afterthought. I never think about Ryan Tannehill. And then I see numbers at the end of the season. He's top 5 in yards, or he's top 5 in something. And I'm like, fuck, why don't I ever think of that dude? I never really followed him. Probably never had him on one of my fantasy teams. So I didn't chart his ups and downs.
Yep.
But why? What do you think about it? You think he's overvalued?
He's definitely under the radar. The fact is, I wonder how many people would get the question wrong if you asked them who had better stats last year, Patrick Mahomes or Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill blew him away. I didn't blow him away, but he had better stats. And
I believe
he added Julio Jones.
I believe he did. He's just he's one of those guys. He's sort of like I mentioned, the Matthew Stafford. You know what I mean? He's not, sort of a guy that just piles up numbers, and that means fantasy points.
Matthew Stafford is supposed to be the sleeper of the year. Sean McVay, the head coach of the Rams, came out and said that he's a stud. He said, I believe it might have been a diss to Jared Goff,
they traded
Jared Goff.
Yeah, they did the switch off. Yeah.
Jared Goff is another fantasy enemy for me. He just didn't do what I needed him to do. But Matthew Stafford, and they got some good receivers down there. They have a good offense. The Rams. McVay, good young coach, he was up there last 2 years ago, But we'll see what happens. It's going to be a pretty good year this year. Overall, I know Julio Jones with Tannehill, they lost Jonnu Smith. We got him. I don't know if we have Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith with tight ends. I don't know if that was the move we needed to make this year. I know we have high hopes of Damian Harris. I hope he's a stud running back for us this year. Is James White? He's down with Brady. Did he go to Tampa Bay?
That's a great question because I always, ever since a few years ago, when he saved my ass, I usually keep an eye on him. And I don't think I saw him doing my perusal of the draft, the mocks. So I'll have to figure out. I don't know where he's going now, what he's expected to do. Obviously, the system helps a guy like him where they can vary it up. And plus, he's a fucking tough bastard, man. He breaks tackles, which is so important to get those first downs.
He's still with us, but I know there was chatter about him going down to
Tampa.
Yeah, I mean, everybody there's chatter, anyone who leaves the Pats. But James White, he scored the TD in the 28-3 debacle with the Falcons. So.
Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah, oh, absolutely. He's a stud. He's just one of those guys. Also, he has a generic name. If his name was like Shenende, you'd remember it. His name is 10 guys named Jim White. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, my life. So he's it's hard to remember how good he is.
Yeah, that's my guy, Mike Smith. Fucking fantastic. So,
go on.
No, God.
Does Dave want to join us, or do you want to?
Yeah, Dave's good. Yeah, Dave, he's watching out there. Dave Kenny, he's our most loyal Shamrock viewer. I'll give him that.
That's why I wanted to give him a shout out and invite us to join us and I don't know if does Dave play fantasy football?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. But So I think we'll wrap it up, Tom. I think we covered everything. We covered some solid subjects. We'll plan on that for next Thursday. We'll get 2 other people. Anybody that wants to join, message me, message Tom. We'll do one quick mock draft and get through it, discuss, a little bit of, strategies and why we're picking where we are. We'll go through it. I think it'll be a good time. We're getting close, man. It's middle of July. September 8th, I believe, is the start, or somewhere around that time. So it'll be here before you know it.
Yeah, so go out there and mow your lawn. Unless you're lazy, then call Platt's Landscape.
That's
And
right.
then, and then sit inside your house and drink a supplemental healthy tea.
Yep, absolutely. From
Yeah.
4 Seasons Nutritions or Twitches.
Yeah.
Go grab them there. And then when you're done with that, you're gonna grab your supplements that you got from Juness to live an even more healthy lifestyle. And then, the other night, stop down at Dirt McGurk's and erase it all. So, I mean, have yourself a good time, wake up, do it again. That's where we're at. So, but hey, everybody, thanks you for tuning in. Tom, thanks for joining me again. Dave, thanks for being our loyal viewer, and everybody also too. I don't know, we like Cultivate, our dispensary out in Leicester. We're going to everybody stop out there, get yourself, I don't know, cannabis is a pretty big wave right now. We're going to get into that with our next podcast too. We're going to be adding some topics. Everybody, thank you again. Have a great week. We'll talk to you next time.
Yep, have a great week. Thanks,
Thank you.
Mike. Thanks, everybody. Take care.
Take care,
Bye-bye.
Tom.